Last week in the Pro Series, we saw a epic battle at Lenovo Speedway for second on back, but Aaron Lewis absolutely dominated the second half of the race and got his first win in a long time on AG the channel. And here tonight is race 8 of 17 already in the Lenovo Pro Series and has been dominated by Juan Rodriguez. Can anyone stop him? You just gotta wait and see. It is race 8 on the season, and it is the Cheerwine 150 at Rockingham. Hello everyone, it is Nathan here and welcome to Rockingham Speedway for race 8 on the season already. And what a season it has been in the Pro Series. Been dominant by, it's been a dominant performance by Rodriguez, but what a championship battle from second on back, and what a battle for the race it has been for most of these, and I'm sure we will see another good one here today at Rockingham. And let's see if we come in on this fast 1 mile speedway here in North Carolina. And we got Alex up here on the booth for this one, and welcome back to the Pro Series booth.
Yeah, it's exciting here in the Pro Series. Always got a lot of great racing here on these Wednesday evenings. I think the rest of the season's Wednesday. Well, we got a Tuesday race coming up around Thanksgiving. Hey, regardless of the fact, great to be here, and this is going to be a fun one here from Rockingham. First time Lenovo Pro Series has ever been to the Rockingham Speedway, but we know this is a very fun racetrack at the trucks here on Saturday. Who knows how this race is going to play out as well. I heard you had to do some I&I changes, so I'm excited to see how this ends up shaking out. But how about Juan Rodriguez here in this Lenovo Pro Series, coming into this race with a 38-point lead? I mean, we're only 7 races in, and I know he's got more starts than a lot of the guys behind him, but still, that's a pretty significant lead, and he's in a really good position to maybe clinch this championship early once we get down to it here in a couple of months. But hey, excited to see how this one plays out. Rockingham Speedway, always a lot of fun, and these Lenovo Pro Series drivers are going to put on a good show here for 38 laps here in the Cheerwine 150.
Absolutely. These drivers have been put on a show everywhere we've gone to so far this season, and I bet today will be no different. And I think we might see a couple of different lanes. The first, second lane is really going to be where you want to be. The third lane, not so much. And you can sometimes get a bit tight off of turn 2 and turn 4 if these guys go 3 wide. So gotta watch out for that. But like you said, Juan Rodriguez has been the dominant driver here this season. And has a 38-point lead over Cement Oskin in second. Jay Wibbleton is in third, minus 40. Neil Zonka in fourth, minus 40 as well. Emily York Watson in fifth, minus 42. BP Ruiz in sixth, minus 42. Sammy Camara in seventh, minus 43. Angel Gutierrez in eighth, minus 46. Greg Victor's Benny in ninth, minus 49. And then Javier Vasquez round out the top 10, minus 55. So basically, to sum up the top 10, if Juan Rodriguez was not racing, it would be one heck of a championship battle. But unfortunately for everyone, Juan Rodriguez is racing, so they gotta beat him if they want to close in on that point lead. So, how do you think this race will go out? 38 laps, no pit stops, and some interesting drivers. Like third in points, Jay Wibbleton on the pole here tonight.
This is one of those racetracks where you do want to start on the inside lane. The outside lane doesn't have that much going for it, and especially as the race goes on. So, I think someone from that inside lane is going to be at the advantage once we get down to it. But we may see a couple of cautions in this race as well. At exit of turn number 2, that really squeezes up quite a bit, and we could see some wrecks down Thunder Alley here today. But regardless of the fact, I'm excited for it, and we're not going to know what happens until we get this thing started. So let's go ahead and get on to it. It's going to be a good one here from Rockingham.
Absolutely going to be a fun one. And on the pole is third in points of Jay Wibbleton and the number 16, and the number 77 of 10 points, Javier Vasquez, the number 23 of Sammy Camara, and the 72 of Marco Espino, the number 99 of Sam Jeffrey, and the 27 of Colin Jones, the number 7 of Angel Gutierrez. I cannot speak tonight, so I apologize. 47, Juan Rodriguez, that point leader, starts on the outside lane. The number 64, That is Neil Zonka in the 87 of Samet Oskin, the 63 of Greg Victorious Benny, and the 52 of Emily York Watson, the number 61 of Hallie Anson Jr., and the 40 of Mark Richardson, the number 25 of Bruno Diacomo, and the 17 of Sarah Taylor, the number 32 of Carson Miller, and the 78 of Chase McClure, the number 51 of Alexander Rowe, and the 37 of Matt Blatt, the 33 of BP Ruiz, and the 88 of Wyatt McIntyre, the 41 of Brad Ream, and the 62 of Brian Perez, and then we got the 71 of Brad Stover and the 80 of Max Martin, the only two drivers that made their first start on the season here tonight. Alright, Alex, 38 laps on tap here at the lot. Who do you think will win the Cheerwine 150?
Well, he's already gotten a win this season, and he is on that inside lane, which is where he need to be, and he's proven himself as a driver before. I mean, he's won in Indianapolis 250 for crying out loud. I think I gave away who I'm picking. That's going to be Angel Gutierrez in the number 7 for Logan Sport. I think he's going to have the car to get up there, and this is, of course, an owner's rating series, so watch out for Gutierrez to get a second win of the season here in the Pro Series.
Really like that pit. Angel Gutierrez has been strong, and just maybe he can get win number 2 here today. And it's still early enough for himself and like 8 other drivers to have a chance to close in on Juan Rodriguez, and it will be the number 16 leans to the green of J. Wilberton and the 77 of Javier Vasquez. And we are green flag racing for race 8 on the season and for the Cheerwine 150 for the Lenovo Pro Series. Great jump for the 23 on this inside lane. Sam Camara on the move already. And here comes Vasquez back into the inside. And it's going to be a 2-lane racetrack. The outside lane is not impossible to get one, but it's going to be the inside lane preferred. And 3 wide in the back, gotta watch out for that. But great one as now the 77 of Vasquez back up to the second place spot.
Yeah, how about Vasquez there in that 77? Kind of shot from the outside back to the inside, and now Javier Vasquez going for the race lead to the inside of J.R. Ribbleton. And early on, already a pass for the race lead, and already a competitive race here at Rockingham, and these guys are all over the racetrack here. A lot of great racing here. Got Gutierrez looking to the inside of Xander Jeffrey there. That is for the 5th or 4th position, but couldn't quite get it right there. And you also got the 27 moving their way up, Colin Jones. Some of these guys relatively new to the channel and finding themselves up front here in this Cheerwine 150. We got 3 wide right there.
What a move from Neil Sonka, development driver, to Theo Duncan Wood Soccer. And oh my goodness, Angel Gutierrez smacked the outside wall. You mentioned it. Turn 2 just juts out around another, kind of like Texas, and a massive save from the 7 and the 72. Whew. But right now is all clean sailing for Vasquez, 10th in the point standings. He's been close to getting that first winner on the season a couple of times, but so far, so good out front. And Sammy Camara trying to get winner number 2 is up to 2nd now. The 16 of Littleton in 3rd. And then Neil Zonka in 4th. And how about Colin Jones inside the top 5 for Dutch Atlanta's and local doors team. And oh no, problems for the 47. That is Juan Rodriguez, our point leader.
Oh, that almost looks like a terminal issue there. Because he's way off the pace, and that wasn't... No, maybe not. That's very strange. He got shuffled. He must have smashed that outside wall. Tough break there for Juan Rodriguez.
Oh.
You were telling me just before the start of this race, you know, something like that happens, that could really open up this championship. Well, our points leader is going to fall to the back of the field here, and if we don't have anything else that happens in this race, he is going to get only 1 point today, and that is going to be a huge opportunity for guys like Ozkin, and especially Ribbleton still running there in the top 3. But already a chaotic race so far right here. I'm all shook up from this, and you got the Elvis Presley car out front. You probably didn't know that was even a reference to Elvis, did you, Nathan?
Nope, that was before my time.
Well, it was
um,
before my time too, but you know, if you know, you know. Regardless of the fact, Javier Vasquez, I don't know if he's ever won a race on the channel before. I don't think he has. So great to see him have this opportunity. That's what I love about this series. And, you know, this is where, you know, our Wall Cup Series champion from this year, Duncan Ward, started him in the Sprint Series midseason in 24. And, you know, now he's one of the best drivers in and on the channel. And that's what this series is, a platform for these guys to get started and find yourself in the Discord, find yourself in the National Series or Cup Series right next year. You could be the next champion in one of those series. And, you know, names are made here. And it is definitely an exciting series to watch because you got all these guys going for it each and every lap.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what the CMJ Wilburton is doing on the move. Got past the 23, and looks like it's more or less the inside lane. I thought the outside lane in testing might be a defense mechanism, but not really the case right now. Side by side for the fourth place spot, that's Colin Jones to the inside of Sam McMahon. And shout to the 77 of Vasquez. I don't think really showed up until the Pro Series, and he's been really strong so far in these races. And you know, same can be said for Colin Jones. He's kind of shown up a few times, and he's in a great spot to make some moves. And the 72 inside the top 10. You got the 99 of Xander Jeffrey, another new driver, I believe. Major Gutierrez, Hal Anderson Jr. And then the self-proclaimed cheese car from Travis rounds out the top 10 of Carson Miller. And I believe there was a lap in the 47. Must have been something to do with the skid marks in 1 and 2. So tough break there. But look at the 77 pulling away to almost a 1 second lead here. Just 12 laps in to the Cheerwine 150.
You got to be careful not to wear those tires out there. There's no pit stop in this race, and this racetrack eats up tires. So we'll see if that ends up being the case. Maybe got out there a little too aggressively, but I tell you, these guys, they race it very competitively around this racetrack here at Rockingham Speedway. And once again, a battle here for third. You got Colin Jones at the inside of Neil Zonka. There's Colin Jones, very new driver to the channel. Love to see these new drivers and see what they can do. And you know, how about Colin Jones looking for his first ever win on the channel here? You know, been doing this for over 10 years here on AG the channel, and still getting new guys, still having new guys going to victory lane, and that's what I love about these weekly series. But you also got some guys who have some experience who are running up front in this one, like J.R. Rippleton. He's been around for a couple of years there. Of course, you also got Carson Miller just inside the top 10 in the 32 machine. Of course, he's in the truck series full-time as well, and Bruno Diakma, also a full-time truck driver in this race today. And look at that. Gonna split 3 wide. How about that for the 72 of Marco Espino Braddock?
What a move, and that outside lane is definitely not looking for anyone here today. And how about Triad? They have struggled at times in the truck series so far, but definitely not over here. They are constantly, both of the cars are inside the top 10, top 12 constantly. And once again, both the 72 and 61 are doing that. And I will say, Q the Jarlstein, the 16, is slowly closing back in, was closing in to the 77. Lost some time last time by. But this is kind of a longer race, laps-wise. So you still got plenty of time for the 16 of Littleton to catch up to Vasquez. But these two have a 2.5 second, 3 second gap over third place.
Yeah, unless we get a caution, more likely than not, it's going to be one of those two guys. But definitely still have a lot of movement going on there from fourth on back, and these guys are going to go 3 wide again, it seems like. They were looking right there. Gutierrez in the middle of all this, Xander Jeffrey. And you also got that 61 machine back in there as well, Hallie Anderson Jr. Of course, we know she's a pretty solid driver. Did a lot of great stuff in the Sprint Series this year. I believe she got a few wins. I can't remember. You were the one that did the series, yeah. But
at least 1 or 2 for Howie, for sure.
Yeah. And was actually also a full-time uncharted driver in the Wall Cup Series and made quite a few races, ran well on the Pacific car. But slip back just a little bit right there. You got the other Pacific car, speaking of Pacific Racing. That's the Hulu machine there, and that's 62 of Braden Perez. And this is a driver we know is good. Braden Perez, of course, going to be full-time in the Wall Cup Series for Team Velocity next year, so we're going to be teammates with Daniel Paulus Jr. over there and that whole operation. And of course, Broke Boys Garage over in the Truck Series has been doing very good. They had a shot at it on Friday night in the K&N 200, but Rogel Dorn had other ideas. But Braden Perez finding his way inside the top 10 right now, and Perez has found some success in this series in the past as well.
And so far, I'm noticing, like you said, there's some pretty decent tire fall off here. It is 1X instead of 2X, but it's still affecting these guys. And like Braden Perez, Hallianson Jr., and the 32 and the 72 are definitely moving on the long one. But the bad thing for all those riders is that we only have 17 laps to go, and the top 10 is still absolutely out here. A 1.4 second lead for Vasquez now, and 10 from points, he can gain a lot of points, especially with what happened to the 47 of Juan Rodriguez, unfortunately, and everyone is going to be able to make up a lot of ground, so that 38-point lead is going to be wiped away, and depending on how it all goes down with Littleton in second, that could be cut down to less than 10 points possibly, leaving here at Rockingham. And so far, so good. Looks like the 47 has made up some ground, but still running just inside of the top 10 and 19th. So not a good day after what happened to our point lead of Rodriguez.
Yeah, definitely a bit of a struggle for him in this one, unfortunately. And like I said, huge opportunity, especially for J.R. Ribbleton, because Ribbleton's the one who's kind of up there. Not sure where Sam Oskin is in the 87. Didn't really get a chance to see where he might be running in this race, because I know he's trying to close in on that title as well. He's the one who is second in the standings. He's actually behind Rodriguez right now, so not exactly the spot that Oskin wants to be in. And that's a tricky thing about this series. You have to consistently sign up week after week to get the good starting position, because all those spots are determined by the past race fastest lap. So if you miss a race and come back, then you're going to be starting in the back, and pretty much 2 races that you're going to be at a disadvantage. And Oskin, of course, missed 1 race this season. That's kind of been what's held him back from Rodriguez in this championship. Same for J.R. Ribbleton, but still not quite halfway through the season yet, and a lot of opportunities for these guys to go to victory lane. And how about Colin Jones in this 27? Slipped back just a little bit, but he has been very strong in this race so far, trying to get around Espino Braddock right there for the 3rd spot.
And I think the 16 might bunt his tires. We mentioned the tire fall off, and I think the 16 has cut the 4 tires on that machine, because now a 2+ second lead for Vasquez, and I think he had a couple 10th lead, kind of saved his stuff a little bit, and now he is really pulling away, and now Littleton's getting caught by Espino Braddock, Jones, Zonka, Miller. So this could be an interesting battle for second. Kind of like last week at Charlotte, where it was a fantastic battle for second, but Anders was gone for 2 to 3 second lead, and once again, that's the same story here. But like we saw earlier with that 47 hours, this is a kind of wild racetrack, so something could happen in these final 10.5 laps, and we could get a caution, but Vasquez does not want to see that happen.
Well, if you saw the Light Series finale last week, you know it's not over till it's over. And, hate to remind Aaron Abel of that. He's got his car leading this race right now, so... Ooh, it's not Alexander Rowe that he's kind of chasing in this one, though. So maybe it'll finally work out his favor here today. But I tell you, we still got a lot of great racing going on back here, and each of these points means quite a bit. And if something happens to Rodriguez, of course, something already happened to Rodriguez in this race, we get further into the season, and some of these guys find themselves further up in the championship. Every point's going to matter in that regard, and all these positions are going to have an effect. And there you go, 3 wide. How about Carson Miller? Carson Miller, of course, the defending champion of Lenovo Pro Series, won this title last year. Very solid run for him, this 32 machine, looking to find himself in the top 5. I think he's got that 5th spot right now.
Looks like he does, and he is in a top 5 spot. Not really going for the full-time one this year, but he is running, I guess you can say, part-time. He ran at the start, took a few races off, and now he's back for the last couple. So, Carson Miller trying and get some decent results here and there, and it is just intense racing from 2nd, 3rd, 4th on back through about 12th, and this is fantastic stuff. And I will say, give a little bit of a shout to BB Ruiz. Started in the 20s and he's moved up a little bit. Not as much as I thought in 15th, but not a good day for some of the drivers in the point standings that are up there, but a great day for Vasquez and a great day for Wimbledon here in this one. Vasquez with 6 laps to go has almost a 3-second lead here in the Cheerwine 150. And I don't know, it might not be able for the second place spot though. The 7-2 is wicked fast on the long one. You can just visually see the speed in 1 and 2.
Yeah, I think Rippleton just tore those tires to shreds. And how about Carson Miller? I mean, Espina Braddock and Carson Miller, those two guys have absolutely done the right thing. And Angel Gutierrez as well. He was almost outside the top 10 at one point, and here he is moving his way back up. Good run on the outside for that 64 machine. Getting some good momentum off the outside of turn number 4. And you got the 17 now moving her way into the top 10. That's Sarah Taylor in the 17 machine. We'll see if she gets a full-time ride next year. Been in these ranks for a few years, and I'd love to see her in a full-time ride, especially in the National Series. We'll see if that ends up being the case, but I tell you, these guys keep on shuffling around all over the place back in here. You got that 78 also up there, Chase McClure, who is going to be in the National Series. He did sign up, so we'll see where he ends up full-time in National next year. That'll be very exciting. But how about 3.5 seconds for Javier Vasquez, looking to get his first career win on the channel here today. 3.5 laps to do it here at Rockingham Speedway.
And one thing I'm noticing, I said that, oh, it could be iffy with the outside and the inside lane is going to be kind of equal. And I think on older tires especially, some of these drivers are able to win that second lane and really defend. But look, one from Angel Gutierrez went right there in 1 and 2, just slingshot by the 64. And the teammate's going to do the same thing with Sarah Taylor. We gotta see what the 72 can do though for Triad. Has caught up to the back bumper of Wimbledon with 2 laps to go. Is basically all good for Vasquez, but we have a battle for second here. A 4-second lead now for that Racing Motorsports machine. But right now, we might have a battle for second, as the 77 is going to cross the white flag this time by in a dominating 4-second lead for Vasquez. And we're going to keep an eye out on this battle here for the second place spot. 72 trying to steal it. Wimbledon definitely has spun up his tires, and we forgot to mention the tire wear. I didn't think it was going to be this bad, but it has been noticeable for some. And through 3 and 4, it will be the number 77 of Javier Vasquez with another win for Racing Motorsports and his first win on the season. And it will be Wimbledon and Espina Braddock running out the top 3 here today in a very tire driven race here at Rockingham Speedway.
Great runs for Carson Miller and Angel Gutierrez as well. They got top 5s out of that one. But how about Javier Vasquez? That was a very, very strong run there. And Racing Motorsports as a whole, of course, had a lot of success in the Wall Cup Series last year. Didn't quite have that success this year, but Aaron Abel doesn't make up for what happened last week at Toledo, but probably make him feel a little bit better getting that owner's win here at the Rock.
Absolutely. I know Angel Gutierrez won in one of his colors at Kansas, so that might be 2, it might be 3. I think it's 2 or 3 wins for him. And, oh, we didn't catch that Greg Victorious Benny blew up, apparently, at some point as well, so you guys saw that in the corner of the screen. Definitely for one of the Vision Motorsports cars. That's not the first time the 63 has blown up. I think that car blew back Bristol as well. So definitely for Greg Victorious Benny here in this one. And 4 out of point leader of Ronald because he was able to rebound to 17th, but still not the greatest of days, and it might be cut in half for that point lead. It might go from 38 to 40 to maybe 18 to 20, something like that. So, I feel like I kind of changed it ahead of time before we started this race in the background. I said that it's still very close for second on bet, and if something happens, it will be very tight once again. And that happened, unfortunately. So, what a race, though. Very tire driven and good battling from second on bat, but How about Vasquez there? Absolutely a dominating one with a 4.4 second lead for the number 77.
And it might be one of the biggest margins we see all year. Of course, we still got Watkins Glen coming up, so that could be a race that we get a wider margin. But what a race here at Rockingham! It was still a lot of fun, and it makes me look forward to the Truck Series on Saturday because we know that's going to be a lot of fun as well. And I love this racetrack, and I feel like it's kind of weird. This racetrack, we've run races on here for 10 years. It feels like it's aged, and we run the same version we've always used. It feels like it's aged very well. The racing has gotten better over the years, and we haven't really done much to it. I know you did some I&I changes, but still, great racetrack, and congratulations to Javier Vasquez. First career win on AG the channel. Probably won't be the last, so we'll see how it ends up shaking out, but great one here from Rockingham.
Absolutely. I feel like if he keeps on signing up for some of the top teams, like Racing Motorsports, like Logan Sport, Triad, maybe Pacific as well, those have been some of the better teams so far this season. I feel like that would not be the first win for Vasquez in this one. And we'll see what ends up happening for Javier Vasquez next week at Watkins Glen for race number 9 of 17. And signs for that will happen momentarily here on AG the channel, so make sure you sign up if you want to keep on going for this title. Because I think it's starting to get a little bit more interesting. Because Rodriguez, I think, is going to cut his lead down to half with that 4-1 here today. Congratulations to Racing Motorsports Enable and Javier Vasquez on the race win here at Rockingham. And we will see you guys next week for some more course racing at Watkins Glen International.